welcome to Sunday Chirps episode 1. All right, we're going to go through kind of your hockey week. We're going to start off with our week. So, Max, what were you up to this weekend?
Didn't do much. I had an internship in Binghamton. I could not attend because of the weather. It was a tough one. I work for a hockey team called the Black Bears. We do game day management. How was your weekend, Jared?
It was good. Oh, was it a snowstorm there or what happened?
Crazy blizzard.
Jeez.
Like
And then
negative 30 degrees. Absolutely brutal outside.
Jeez. And then what's it called too? Did that earthquake hit nearby you as well?
Yeah, Buffalo. We didn't feel it though. Thank God.
Jeez. I don't think I've ever in my lifetime heard of an upstate New York earthquake. That is absolutely wild. Hope everyone is okay out there.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, for my week, I'm down here in Fort Lauderdale, so Allstar Weekend. Went out Friday night, got a little banged up. I know the Chicklets guys were out at Bo's Pub on Saturday, and I think they were downtown at the bars in Fort Lauderdale, so I'm surprised I didn't run into them. I think they're like AMSO and a few of the other good ones. But yeah, and also been coaching 12U, so I had 2 games on Sunday. We went 1-1, tough break in the second game.
Scores?
What do you say?
The scores?
We won 4-1 first game, and second game we lost 3-1, I think. We played well the first game, the second game not as well. But if we would have won that second game, we would have clinched states, so that's frustrating.
Oh, damn. Like, can you still get into states or no?
No, we missed it, which sucks. It went to tiebreaker. Florida Junior Panthers had the tiebreaker on us. So that's tough. But regardless, still a good weekend. Also, there's the Florida Exposure Cup at the rink in Palm Beach, and there were some sick teams. Who was coach? Oh, Marty St. Louis came down during All-Star break. His coach in the Mid-Fairfield Rangers.
One of my favorite players, by the way.
What do you say?
One of my favorite players ever.
Yeah, he's insane. So yeah, that was really cool. Their coaching was at 14U, like the best teams in the country, Little Caesars, the Dallas Junior Stars, the Junior Blues, just insane hockey talent. And
Little Caesars from Detroit, right?
yeah, I think just outside of Detroit. But yeah, just insane team. And the team that actually won the tiebreaker over us, the Florida Junior Panthers 12U, is coached by Roberto Luongo, and his son was in net wearing number 1. So that was pretty cool to see as well.
Yeah,
But,
right there.
Yeah. Last thing, though, with that weekend is, speaking of a lot of NHL talent in that rink, we had St. Louis, Luongo, and also the great one, my idol, Bobby Orr, was in the house. His grandson is on my team, so I was coaching him on D. He actually had a coast-to-coast and went top right on the goalie. Yeah, it was insane. So I'm sure they call him Papa Orr, and so they're like, Papa Orr's here, Papa Orr's here.
Oh, so he had a little buzz going for that game.
Yeah, so he had a little chip on his shoulder. Good to see. So we're going to jump right in. Last night, pretty sick game for hockey. Especially being a Rangers fan. But even on the Calgary side, there's a lot of electricity on that end. Max, what are your thoughts?
One of the most entertaining games of the year. From the Rangers side. I don't know about Calgary side. That must have been a frustrating loss.
Yeah, but even still, I think both, overall the entire NHL, like, fans of the Flames or Rangers, but also just anyone was like, that was game of the year.
I mean, there was that kick in net by, Majapani. I mean, that shouldn't have counted, but, I mean, it made the game even better.
Yeah. But, yeah, super exciting. Went down to OT. Oh, speaking of exciting, Trubo is an absolute mutant out there. My goodness.
He was not holding back on his hits yesterday. He must have not woke up on the wrong side of the bed or something. I don't know what got into him.
Was it 2 or 3, big time open ice hits?
Huge hits. And he got the fights, too, right after.
What, were they both fights? I forget. Was it 2 fights?
Yeah.
Jeez.
They had 2 fights, right away.
That's leadership right there.
He's leadership and he can defend himself. He's a big boy.
love to see that. And yeah, I'm trying to think. Other than that, the only other game that
Um,
really stuck out. Oh, yes,
oh,
Mike.
the Devils Canucks. Canucks came back from 4-1, lost in overtime though,
That's right.
sadly. And then Bo Horvat's first game with the Islanders didn't get a goal, but they still won, and they're winning currently, I believe, 4-0, and he just scored.
Wow. Well, that was one of the big things for the Islanders. They couldn't score more than 2 goals in the game, and they got Bo Horvat. Granted, they're playing who they played Flyers last night, not a good
Yes.
team.
And
Who
now
they
they have
playing?
Seattle. I mean, Seattle's not
Seattle's
bad.
no, they're number one in their division. They're legit. So I mean, maybe Bo Horvat's the missing piece. I mean, we're gonna get into him in a little bit, but maybe he's the goal scorer and the missing connection the Islanders need in that first line, like a
Yep.
top six player. But yeah, real quick before we jump into that, also the Panthers mopped the floor with the Lightning. I don't know if they were just kind of sleeping, All
First
Star
game
break.
back. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't. Who
but
knows that one?
before we jump into the trades, let's real quick run through a little quick All-Star Weekend thoughts. What were your thoughts on the skills competition, Max?
I thought the whole event, the whole weekend, was one of the most boring events I've ever seen from professional sports in any way. It was boring. It was played out, commercials every 2 minutes. I mean, they have to figure out a new system for this. That's what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think there's a few events they keep. You got to keep the hardest shot or hardest shot, fastest skater, and third event is the
You could do skills breakaway. That one was pretty cool.
the breakaway that you keep.
Where the
But I mean,
goalies have to keep the streak. You know that one?
when they're shooting it down the ice.
No, you know when it's like the whole team goes and like whatever their streak is by the end of it.
Oh
That's
yeah,
just,
yeah. That would be something I'm inclined.
that would be cool.
Yeah, they definitely need to do something new. I think I saw on Spin Chicklets they were saying that maybe do what's the drill? Oh, like the drill where it's like 2D and three forwards, like a 3-on-2, and you ice it down to the other side and then go 3-on-2 on the other side.
Make it like a practice.
Like honestly, like a practice, like seeing like the All Stars practice would probably be cooler than what the skills competition was.
And the All-Star game.
Yeah, although the All Star game at least was a little bit better, but I mean.
I honestly think they should just combine them. Like they should just intermission should be like they do the breakaway challenge and then next period they can just combine like the fastest skater and like the hardest shot. Like it shouldn't take that long. Like it
Yeah.
really and they're all gonna be warmed up by that point. Like they're gonna be like good to go. Like
Yeah, I agree.
they're doing these skills competitions. They're not even like they're cold, like sitting on the bench for like 45 minutes. Like it's just not gonna work.
Honestly, at this point, like I know this is probably like a hotter take with like I think like they're all playing golf nowadays. Like and they had off time, they're just playing golf. I think at some point we just like instead of an All-Star game, they just want to relax and play golf. Why don't we just do like a golf outing? Like we're in Florida, like they could have done like I don't know, some sort of matchup with I don't know what the points would be like, or it's like
Yeah.
1v1 matchups, and they just like add them up at the end, and
Yep.
like people just go out there, walk around. That could be more fun, I think. They were
It
playing like
was.
hockey on the green. I saw.
I mean, I like the idea to get off the ice. I mean, no one wants to see everything on the ice, but there's some stuff that definitely should, and they need to clean it up. I mean, it just needs to be cleaned up, and that's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I guess one highlight though, it was cool to see the OV and Sid connection both in the
Um,
skills competition and game.
yep, that was
So
pretty
that's
cool to see.
cool.
With Fox, by the way, on that line.
With who? Oh yeah, Fox. Yeah, I love to see that. But no, with the Sun was awesome. So was it Sergey Ovechkin, and then also just the teamwork in the game was real cool. I don't know. Another takeaway too: Marner skates, the Miami Vice white ones and those black ones, gross. Not a good gross either. They were horrible.
You didn't like them? I don't mind them. I used to have the black skates. I didn't mind them.
I don't know. I think, especially
I
the white ones.
I just don't know how they like look. Like, ah, such a
And I
tough look.
Yeah, seriously. And I think I saw the AHL game, they take the glass away so that the fans can interact with the players. Like, I think it's
Really?
behind the bench. So like they're just chatting and shooting this shit with the players, and it's like I don't know. It could be cool to like interact with the players more
That
so.
would be really cool. Like little kids, I mean, that's what they want right there.
Yeah, so that'd be really cool. But yeah, I think that kind of wraps up. Any last takes from the All Star game? Any thoughts?
Honestly, it could be performed better, and I hope they do it better next year. And I hope New York gets it soon.
Yeah, I mean, with Toronto, though, at least the good thing is I know, not that I'm a big fan of Justin Bieber, but I know he'll be there.
Oh yeah,
So it'll bring a little more
viewership.
attention. Yeah, so that hopefully will be good. But yeah, let's jump right into it. We were just talking about Bo Horvat. Scored a goal tonight as we're talking.
Yep.
And so he gets traded to the Islanders. Um, and I think my biggest thought was if they don't sign him, they just got waxed for like 2 picks and 2 good players.
Yes.
So they go out
Correct.
and sign him. What did they sign him? What was the
Eight by
contract?
eight. 8 by 8.5.
Okay, 8 by 8.5. So is that an overpayment? Do you think?
For Bo Horvat, I do not think that's an overpay. I think that's just about right. I think he's a great goal scorer. He's what the Islanders have needed, and they will probably have a good career with them. Your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's a little high. I know the cap should be going up in the next few years, but
Yeah.
I think he maxed out at 60 points as his career high, which is a little bit low to be paying an 8 by 8.5. And
Hmm.
then you're gonna go see Larkin. He's right now trying to in trade talks with the Red Wings. I know he'd probably want to take a hometown discount,
Yeah.
but Stevie Y doesn't want to agree. I think they were talking about an 8 by 7 or 7 by 7, but he thinks he deserves more or as
Right.
much as Bo, which he probably does.
He probably does. They're probably very equal. I would have to assume.
So I don't know. And real quick to touch base on the All Star game as well. It was so weird. Bo Horvat was wearing what was it? Western Conference in the Pacific with an Islanders like emblem, and I didn't get that at all.
They didn't want to mess up the rosters and all that, and I get that, but I don't know. It did not look great. It was probably very awkward for people like Elias Patterson and that others who were participating. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a better way to do it. I don't know. Not going to dive into that. Um, but yeah. Oh, another good signing too. Sonny Milano found a little home, and Dylan Strome both found homes in D.C. Sonny Milano is a Long Island guy, so we love to see that here. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think good for him. I think he signed a 3 by 5.7.
Yeah.
So not a
I
big
mean,
hit.
yes, coming off the professional contract. I mean, they tryout. I mean, that's what you want right there to sign for 3 years.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of like the Jimmy VC in New York, where like we got a
Yep.
nice, what was it, 2 by 1.9 or something?
Not even. It's like under a million, I think.
All right.
I mean, what do you want right there? We have zero cap space right now.
Yeah. Which brings us to kind of right before the All Star game. I know the All Star game went on a few days ago, and this will probably released a few days later. Um, Boston, I think, went 1-2-1 their last 4 before the All Star break. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't think you should panic about that. It's still Boston, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not great to start, but I think that's what they needed. They needed a little rest for the All-Star break and come back ready to go. Charlie McAvoy and the boys will be ready. Your
Yeah, I think
thoughts?
that's right. Yeah, I mean, more or less, there's no reason to panic. I mean, losing 3 of the last 4. I mean, they've lost like 5 games all year in regulation, so they could probably lose like the next 20 of the last 30, and they'll still make playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
you probably don't want to lose that number 1 seed because you're gonna have to play Lightning or Toronto in the first round. 2 teams, they're legit. And you probably don't want to play against them.
Yes, and you
Um,
want the home ice throughout. It's always key.
yeah, if you could get like that, what is that going to be? Like a Capitals or a Penguins or an Islanders or even Buffalo might be that spot. So that's the team you probably want to play.
Yep.
But yeah, another team to kind of look at right before All Star break. The Hurricanes were an absolute heater. Um, I don't know. They're the legit team as well.
They
They're
are. 7 straight wins, smoked the Bruins. I mean, they are coming. Like they can't be stopped. They always are. and we know this.
Yeah, I mean the whole Eastern Conference. I'm pretty sure like the NHL, like their power rankings every week, maybe like 6 or 7 of the top 10 are all Eastern Conference. So
Eastern Conference Metro teams,
yeah. Oh, no, Atlantic are up there.
the Lightning.
Lightning, Toronto, and
Oh
Boston.
yeah,
Just the whole
that's true.
East is a problem.
Just it's so lopsided. It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, so that's pretty wild. And then flipping to the West, we've got Vancouver, who I don't know what they're doing, but so that was so weird. Their whole coaching situation,
Yeah.
firing of Bruce, but he knew for months that he was gonna be fired. Like, what are your thoughts of that?
They're just in rebuild mode now. I mean, I can't see any way out of this for them. They're
You
just
think?
trying to. They love Brucey probably. The players probably love him. I think he's like a really good players coach, and they're like, we don't want to lose him. And management definitely said it's time to go.
Well, now they're paying. They just signed Rick Tocchet, fired Bruce, which is a weird firing the whole way they did that. So now they're
Traded
paying
Bo.
Rick Tocchet, Bruce, and I forget who's the coach beforehand. They're paying him as well still. So they have 3 coaches on the books. So just not a good look. If you're the Vancouver Canucks GM, are you fire sailing? I mean, get rid of Bo Horvat, or are you gonna try to make a push for playoffs? Like, what's the play?
I think you got to trade now. You already traded your captain. I mean, who's got to be next on them?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think it's just you look at this draft for next year and just absolutely stacked. I think
Yeah,
you
they got to be
tank.
gone.
You
You
tank
got to
for
be going for
Bedard.
Bedard. Yep, and you got to lock up Elias Pettersson.
Yeah,
I mean, that has to happen for them.
and then they got Kuzmenko. This guy's been playing outrageous, so he's a great piece to have. I mean, you get some trade value there. Do you trade um, Thatcher Demko?
Yeah, that's the big question. I mean, who's looking? The Kings and the who else is it?
Kings could use him for a push. Buffalo could use him for a push.
Buffalo
Um,
could. The guy's playing good. Looking in, he's playing
yeah.
very solid for them.
Maybe even I'm trying to think who else could even use a goalie like that for make that last second push. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think Buffalo could be play. They might be able to sneak in. That'd be
Edmonton
where.
maybe.
Yeah, I mean if who is
Edmonton
it?
could be in.
Edmonton could potentially
I
use him.
mean,
They
Jake
have.
Campbell.
Yeah, it depends of how he's playing.
Campbell has been great for them. Not great for them. I mean, they really need something.
So I don't
I
know.
mean, you can't have the 2 best players just wasted.
Yeah, and even Zach Hyman and they have Draisaitl, Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, and McDavid, and they're all on pace to potentially hit 100 points, which would be like a record or something. Just
And they're
insane.
still going to be like bottom of the West somehow. Like, is it defense? Like, is it the goalie? Like, what is the problem? Do you think?
It's the bottom 6 I think is lacking. I think, sorry, yeah, the bottom 6. I think they have 2 really good lines, and then the third and fourth line are just the team you see lacking. That's something the Islanders did so well for the
Yeah,
last few years. They had 4 lines that could just roll.
that's what you need in
So
hockey.
and then I think it's me. They're on the back end. I think they need a defender. They have like 3. I mean, I don't know what their cap space is like. That might be a team that kind of sneaks in and grabs an. I mean, if you could grab an Eric Carlson,
That'd
that
be
might.
crazy. I mean, did you
Yeah,
see him? Did you see him with McDavid in the All-Star game? I mean, they were fantastic together. Like, imagine that.
I mean Eric Carlson. I think is gonna win the Norris this year. He's playing
Guys,
prime,
ninth in points in the NHL as a defenseman.
insane. So I mean, yeah, I think you need to add a key piece like that. Maybe you add someone else. I don't know if it's going to be Eric Carlson. That might be a big push. But I mean, you already put it all on the line. Like the Oilers, how many first round picks do you need to get? Like
Yeah,
something's got to work soon.
it
Um,
is.
but they kind of picked up a bit the last like 10 games or so leading up to the All Star game.
Yeah,
So I think they're in a playoff spot.
they'll pick it up. I really have faith in them. I
Yeah.
can't imagine it going bad.
And then back with the Islanders, I mean, they've got a special goal. Honestly, all of New York, except for Buffalo, really, you got Shesterkin and Sorokin. Great friendship. I think Sorokin's the godfather to Shesterkin's kid, so that's cool to see.
It
And
is.
Sorokin's playing out of his mind.
Shutout galore. The shutout king.
Yeah, what is he like? Shut out like 12% or 13%, I think, of his games started, which is just an absurd number.
I mean, for an NHL goalie, that's insane.
So
Should not happen.
yeah, pretty wild. And then kind of switching directions, kind of along the lines of that, the format of the NHL, kind of viewership's down. Like, what's the move from here? Like, do we change the format? What do you think we do?
I don't know if the format needs to be changed. I think they need to find a new. I mean, Gary Bettman made a statement that they're not down, that they're actually up. It's just that streaming just doesn't show it like that. I mean, but we don't know.
Well, but even still, like, you try to watch your home team, it's like ESPN Plus shows like all the games, but like if you're in your hometown, you can't
Yeah,
get your hometown
blacked out.
team.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're in 2023 and we still have blackouts. Like, it's insane to me.
yeah. I mean, and with that too, it's like we're younger, so like we're able to kind of maneuver around. But honestly, I don't even know how to maneuver around to find the games. Like I'm a Rangers fan in Florida, so I get lucky that they're all on
Yeah,
ESPN Plus.
they're all on MSG for me.
But like my dad calls me all the time. It's like, how do I watch the Rangers game? He has ESPN Plus, but not MSG.
Hmm.
So pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a pain.
And I think I've seen another thing debated constantly is the overtime. Players and coaches, I think they want to go. Not that I think this will happen, but 3v3 for 10 minutes and get rid of that shootout because the shootout kind of lost its like flavor. Like seeing Kane dangle down in like 2013
Yeah,
was sick,
no.
but now it doesn't have its same.
I mean, we got the new players will be coming in. They'll probably think of new ways to adapt. They always do. They always find a new way. The shootout was a new form. I mean, they can always change it. It's not a problem to them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about views. That's what it should be about, and making us happy, the consumer.
Yeah, that's true. No, I mean, at the end of the day, that's gonna be the
At
best
the
way to
end,
like grow a game.
it's for us. I mean, we want to see the game play at the highest level and the best way possible. I mean, is it fair a shootout? I mean, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. I mean, you hate to lose one, but you would love to win one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you get your point. Like, I feel like as a fan, you see like a lot of the shootout just doesn't have that energy anymore, and it's like, all right, like I got my point. Like, let's just get out of here. Who cares? Like, so it just doesn't have that same kick.
Yeah,
I think
no.
I think they kind of looked into like I know with the NFL they did like the Nickelodeon games. I think Bettman's in talks of maybe getting like a Disney game. Like you have Mickey Mouse out there skating on the TV, obviously not in the game.
I
And
mean,
like
yeah, they already got the ESPN Plus deal. I mean, Disney's already in part of it. I mean, it would be interesting. It would bring the new generation in. I mean, I love how the NFL does it. Your thoughts?
yeah, I mean I think Disney's like iconic. Everyone knows Disney, so even the 3-year-olds like maybe they'll be like turning on the game and watching. Like, I think the younger audience getting involved at the early stage, like oh Mickey Mouse is playing hockey or going and seeing like Daffy Duck rip a clapper. Like it'd be great for like to engage the younger crowd and maybe just
Mhm.
entertaining too.
Goofy getting into a fight with Panarin.
That'd be hilarious. Or even like just like two like Goofy versus Daffy Duck dropping the gloves. Like that'd be crazy. But yeah, kind of switching it gears. I don't know if you saw earlier in this year. I think it was when the Lightning went to Boston. Jack Edwards was just ripping on Patty Maroon for like a minute and a half straight, just ruthless about his weight, which was just way out of pocket.
Yep.
So I think he ended up going in the locker room and apologizing to him, which was
And
um,
Pat Maroon did not accept the apology, I heard. I heard he was not happy about it.
yeah. I mean, you don't just rip on someone on live like TV for a minute and a half and just I don't know. It seems
Yeah, it does.
unnecessary. So tough
Yep.
break there. But yeah, let's keep it going. Edmonton, we had an e-bug. What are
We
your
did.
thoughts of that?
I love the E-Bug. It's the greatest thing. The emergency backup goalie, everyone, if you don't know what that means. It's one of the most entertaining things that happen in hockey. It's when the goalie gets pulled either from injury or they just take him out like they did. McDavid had asked the coach to put him in because they didn't even have a backup for the game, so they just used him.
So I
Very
think,
entertaining.
what do you
Your
say?
thoughts? Very
Yeah,
entertaining. Like it.
very entertaining. Yeah, that definitely helps. I know like the Hurricanes brought in one a few years ago, and I think the Blackhawks
Yes.
did as well. Um, you actually have to go out from injury for an e-bug to go in, but in this case, the e-bug signed, I think, a few hours before the game as the backup. So he was out of University of Alberta, and they asked him
Yeah.
to come down, and or they up like 5-1, 6-1 with like 3 minutes left, and McDavid's like the good guy he is. He's like, hey coach, put in I can't think of his name
Put
off
him
the top of my
in.
head. Who was it?
I don't even know. But it was just like, put him in. Like,
Yeah, just a great classy move. I mean, another reason just to love
I mean, it's just like
McDavid.
any other person playing goalie in the NHL. Like, it's so entertaining. Like, it's just like putting, I don't know, like someone from our hometown right in that.
Yeah, like could you imagine you're like, hey, like Max, get in there for the Rangers tonight. Like that's just insane. But it was
Fun as
Matt Berlin, that's who it
oh,
was
that's
out
what
of
it is.
Edmonton.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, great to see. I'm sure his day was made. He's probably not going to make the NHL, so 2 saves, no goals allowed. I mean,
I mean,
that's
that's
got
the
to feel
dream
good.
though.
Yeah,
When you move to the NHL.
so that's great to see. All right, you want to kind of go through some teams we think need to kind of trade or fire sale, and like what our thoughts are. We'll do a little division by division breakdown, just real quick, run through the teams. So let's start with the Atlantic, Boston. What do they need to do? Is there anything they need to do? Any key pieces? Any thoughts?
I think Boston can add. They can always add. I mean, it's never a problem to add. I don't. I mean, it's going to be hard for them. I mean, they want to keep the core, and obviously you do if you win that many games. I mean, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, they have such a good team. Maybe adding a bottom six forward or a bottom three D in, kind of just lock down. They have so many good players, and this is their like quote unquote like I guess final year to make that last push. So I'd probably lock in kind of a maybe a third or fourth line player, just gonna pump up those lines, or maybe a number 4, 5, or 6 D. Just like
Yeah.
probably the D more so because if someone
Definitely the
goes
D.
down with
I mean, the
injuries,
goal
like
scoring's not a problem for them.
yeah, and you have two unreal goalies, so I mean no
Yep.
worries there. Um, but yeah, I mean I don't think we need to go through every team. We can just go through a few we think probably need to make some moves. One that comes to mind, we kind of went through the Canucks already. They got a fire sale. I mean, we
I
went.
think Toronto will be, if we're staying in the Atlantic, I think Toronto will be a big push to make some trades and be aggressive. I think they need to find more pieces if they want to make a cup run and make it serious.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I think Philly needs to kind of. They're doing like that half rebuild thing, which is just kind of wasting everyone's time.
it
I
never
think you
worked.
get rid of Hayes. Like he doesn't want to be there. You don't want him there. He's
You could probably sell him for a lot too. He's an all-star. Like, there's a lot you can get from him.
him and Konecki. Am I
Yeah,
pronouncing it right?
definitely.
Konechny. I think you trade those. Maybe even Joel Farabee. I don't know what their contracts look like for cap space, but Joel Farabee could hop in as like a number 2 or 3 defense on a lot of teams. Um,
Good teams.
and even I don't know. This might be crazy, but Carter Hart, you might be able to trade him to maybe like a Flyers or maybe not Winnipeg. They have sick goaltending. I don't know. Maybe I don't know who would need him, but LA Kings sounds like a good fit to kind of lock in that space. Maybe if the Panthers want to go for a push, maybe they'll go for a goalie. I don't think they would. They have
I mean, they have Bob and Knight, right?
yeah, but they're both playing awful, so
Yeah.
I don't know. And the Panthers, they're kind of like they could make a playoff push, but I don't know.
I think it's too far out of reach for them. I mean, they're very close with like the Sabres, but I still think they're very far like from it, from winning the cup.
Definitely far from winning. I mean, even just making
Fringe playoff
playoffs.
teams, like that's a fringe playoff team to me.
Yeah, and then that's like the worst thing because you'll get a terrible pick. And you know what though? I think as far as the East, I think Lightning, Maple Leafs, Bruins, Rangers, Devils, and Hurricanes lock up those top three in each division, and then
Yep.
you have two wild card spots. And now I think ahead of them, I even put the Sabres ahead of the
Yeah, I think the
Panthers.
Sabres are ahead too.
Penguins, I'm taking ahead of them.
I mean,
Capitals,
we'll see if they get there. I mean, they're a bunch of vets though. The Penguins. So I mean, if they can stay healthy, they can make a push. But if they can't, it's going to be hard for them.
yeah.
Malkin's
So,
got to stay healthy. Jari's done for the year, supposedly.
geez, they can't. Like, maybe the Penguins, maybe that's their push. Grab a Thatcher Demko, or you grab a Carter Hart. I don't know.
Yep.
Like that might
I
be a
mean, I don't
move.
know if Philly wouldn't probably trade with them, but
That's true. Unless they give him some sick picks, but
maybe Florida, Bob or Knight. That'd be a big blockbuster.
yeah, I don't know. That could be a move. I'm trying to think who else with the. Oh, and then you have so the Capitals are going to make a push, and I have the Islanders way. I think the Islanders are a way better team than the Panthers are.
Yeah, they are.
Um,
They're going to make a push. They're going
so
to push harder than the Panthers, and they're going to be aggressive in this trade deadline.
yeah, I mean, an Islanders Bruins series to start the playoffs could be electric.
That
Um,
would be whoever comes out of that. They would probably be like four players left and just barely able to get through the next round.
well, think about that. I mean, you also have what looks the current matchup is the Devils and Rangers. That's gonna be a bloodbath.
Oh, that is going to be an absolute torture.
The
It's
Battle
going
of
to
the
be,
Hudson.
as a Ranger fan, that's going to be a stressful one.
Yeah. And then that brings us to you think the Devils are like are they legit contenders right now?
I can see them as I can see them as almost like us last year. I mean, we didn't have the playoff experience, we didn't have it all, but now they're starting to get it. Like Jack Hughes is getting older. I mean, they're starting to get their stars. They're starting to come alive. I mean, that's what you want for the playoffs. They have to play good. If your stars don't play well, it's not going to work well. Your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good point. I think they're gonna make playoffs, no doubt, this year. I
Yeah.
don't think they have it in them to make that cup run. I just think they're too young and they're not there yet. But I mean, you give them like if this team stays healthy for a few years and make a little quick little like veteran ads, that
Yeah.
there's no reason they can't like 2025, 26, like that could be their cup year. I can
Yep.
totally see that.
I mean, it's going to be a great tri-state rivalry these next, like, what, 3 to 5 years? It's going to be great. Like, just nonstop combat. It's going to be.
I think that the Islanders, Rangers, Devils,
Yeah,
and actually even throw in the Buffalo Sabres. If you want to do like kind of a New York.
yeah,
I
you
think
could.
those are four playoff teams almost every year. I know that kind of locks up like half of the Eastern Conference, but
I mean, East Coast. I mean, the New York teams are doing well, though. I mean,
yeah,
you can't say anything about stat. They don't lie.
yeah. I mean, I guess one thing I would maybe sneak in would be I think the Ottawa Senators will be on the come up in the next few years.
Yeah, they
Um,
will.
they got some veteran talent, and they got a ton of young talent that just hasn't
Yep,
fully.
yep.
But
They haven't gotten there yet. I mean, getting Giroux is probably one of the smartest moves they made this offseason.
and DeBrinket's been
Yeah,
sick. He was a little bit slow to start, but I think he's gonna heat
yeah, but
up.
he's picking it up. I mean, he will. We've seen him. He's amazing.
And they lost. I think was it Stitzel got hurt or was it and Anderson I think on the back end.
Did
Just
they? It's
I'll
tough to
double check.
lose.
I think Tim Stutzel got hurt, but I could be wrong. I'll double check in a minute. Meanwhile, yeah, he's out. Oh, he the shoulder, the same thing that Pinto had last year, the shoulder strain, and same thing that Cole Caulfield has. So I mean, Canadians, another team that's just kind of suffering injury. So tough to
Yep,
see him.
it's sad. I mean, but they're young. They will get healthy again, and they will come back stronger and better than ever.
Totally agree. On the New York Rangers front, what do you want to see them do? Any thoughts?
We definitely want to see Kane or Timo Meyer. We definitely need a forward that can score and get us goals. That's what we need.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The problem is, I don't know if I want Kane. I don't know if he's fully healthy. Like, I know he's got this hip injury. Um,
I mean, I'll say this: if we have to give up Kane for someone like Capo or Lafreniere, it's no, it's a certified no. But if it's someone like Will Cooley or they'll take Sammy Blay and a first round pick, I mean, easily we'll take that. We don't want to waste 10 years of our progress for 3 years of Patrick Kane. Not even probably, maybe two.
yeah, I mean, I would love to see Kane go there. I think, though, the only thing is that he's a Buffalo native. I think he's gonna go sign a 1 year with the Blackhawks and leave this year, get the surgery, heal in the offseason, finish out his year in with the Blackhawks, and right at the trade deadline for next year, I think he's going to Buffalo. I think Buffalo's made that playoff push. That's my
That would be
take.
a huge one. That would be
Yeah,
a huge push.
and then I guess for the Rangers, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we don't need that all-star scorer, although I'd love one like that. Like last
I
year,
mean, it's like with Cop, Andrew Cop. I
yeah,
mean, just having that extra score, it just like helps solidify like goals in the playoffs. That's what we need. Like having that is so key. I feel like once you get to that push,
yeah. I
like
mean,
it
I could
killed
see
us.
us too.
That
What
it
about
truly
like
killed
a?
us. That we didn't. Like, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe like what about like a I mean, we don't really need Eric Carlson. We kind of have Fox on that end. Um, but
I
a
mean, they could
play
go. You can get Ben Harper out of there, and we could put a bottom six guy like Justin Braun or someone.
that might not be a bad move. Is Travis Konecny a forward?
No, he's a defenseman, I believe.
Okay, I'm gonna check that.
Having a career year though.
Yeah, he's been playing sick. Um, no, he's a right winger.
Oh, he is a right winger.
So maybe that's a piece that I could try to grab. Or, I just thought of two out of kind of left field. I don't know if he'd leave, but if you could kind of grab a Dylan Larkin, that could be a sneaky. What does Dylan Larkin play? Is he center?
Yeah, he's a center. I mean,
What?
we'd have to give up a lot.
Who's our centers right now? We got Trocheck, um,
Mika,
Mika,
Heedle, and
Heedle.
Goodrow.
What if you move? Is Larkin center as well?
He is.
Okay, so I don't know if you'd add him then. Maybe.
I, I
Um,
I seriously think it's top six winger they're looking for and a bottom six defenseman. Those are two biggest needs. Gotta happen.
yeah, I think you're kind of
I
right
mean,
there.
Nick Bonino, someone like that, someone low.
Nick Bonino could be a good move as much as like you probably hate him from the Penguins. He could be that kind of veteran piece that we've
Yep.
like won cups with, or not we've won cups, but like that
Well,
he's
the
won
head one.
cups.
That's what we need.
Yeah, some sort of veteran piece. Even like a I don't know like what Phil Kessel's contract looks like, but just getting someone who's won before in that piece because there's a good Rangers team. I mean, from the back end out, maybe throwing in like there's five good defensemen. I feel like on that
Yeah.
team. I think it might be a third line winger or fourth line winger is what we need, or just like someone with some veteran like leadership just to show us the playoffs.
Yeah. I seriously think if we have to give up a lot for someone, it's not worth it, like Kane or Timo Meyer. But like if we can get someone like for Sammy Blay and a first round pick, it's what we need
Yeah.
right now. Because that dumps a lot of cash probably that he has, and we can sign some guys, get some flexibility
Well,
off.
Sammy Blay is not a big contract though, is he?
I don't think his is, but like we can dump like some guys off. I mean, if whoever we get can be a free agent coming in, and then we don't have to sign him. We can sign Heedle, we can sign Miller, we can sign
Yeah.
Lafreniere.
I mean that's gonna be another issue too, is gonna be next year the cap
Yeah,
hit. So
yep.
that's something to look
Gosh.
into. But yeah, you
Island-
wanna go ahead?
Islanders will enjoy it for now.
Yeah. I don't know, we'll see. I mean they're both good teams. Maybe it just Keedle and the kid line will just step up to the plate again like they did last playoff, and they'll be able to make a push. I don't know. I don't know if there's every bit they need for the playoffs this year. Maybe it's they're playing for that next year. I don't know. Panarin's been a little bit underwhelming as well, so like maybe he'll turn up this
Yeah,
second half
the
of the
second half.
season.
Yeah, I mean, he was supposed to get 100 points this year. Still hasn't done it.
I don't even think he's that close. I think he's like 40 or 50.
Yeah, he's not that close. I mean, we got the whole other half of the year. We never
Yeah.
know.
So I guess
I
we'll
mean,
see.
yeah, we will.
But yeah, switch it up. Let's go to the West. The Kraken, I mean, they've been just lights out. They broke an NHL record already. I think 7 straight or 8 straight road wins. So tip the hat to
What a
them.
team.
Are they legit? Are they a contender?
Uh, I think they're one of the top teams, but in the West. But I really don't think it's a West battle this year. I think it's an East battle. I think whoever comes out from the East is winning that cup, no matter what. To me,
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, realistically in the West, I don't think there's enough teams that really just can compete. Like they'll make playoffs, Kraken, in my opinion, or I think they will
yeah,
either way. But I just they don't
yeah.
have that chemistry or veteran leadership. I think to really push past.
I mean, we don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think
We need to go.
I think a sneaky team is I think the not sneaky, but the Colorado's kind of heating up again. I think if LA could snag a goalie, they've got all that veteran leadership. A lot of, I mean, a lot of the teams young or won Stanley Cups, so kind of a
Yeah.
mix. And they're number
Yep.
one in their division with a what is it, -10, I think, goal differential,
Goal
which is
differential. Yeah.
just absurd.
Just never been heard of. I don't think.
So
I
I don't
mean,
know.
but they're finding ways to win. That's all that matters. You find a way to win.
Yeah, so if you get the goalie backup and you throw a solid goalie in there, I mean, they might be a legit Western Conference final, if not Stanley Cup contender. I don't know.
Yep. They could. They definitely can make some pushes. I mean, we'll see. The NHL definitely fixed how they do the expansion draft. I mean, we saw with Vegas how they got stacked right away.
Yeah.
It's good for them. I mean, they figured it out. I mean, that's what you want, though. It's like the All-Star game. They need to figure it out.
Yeah. No, I mean, it comes a time. They got a lot of young prospects. I mean, Beniers is hurt right now, and I think there's a good future ahead.
I think he's back already. I think he just missed the All-Star break.
Gotcha. I guess that worked out good for him then.
Yeah, it did.
Um, and then another sad news from the NHL is Pacioretty comes back for the Hurricanes, red hot. They need that goal scorer, and they get that goal scorer in Pacioretty. And then what was it? The Achilles gone again. I mean, really hate to see it.
You really
Uh,
do.
Hopefully he comes back next year, but I mean, hopefully that's not the career-ending injury.
Yes.
But tough.
Hopefully. It doesn't.
And then yeah, kind of switching up. I know we're a hockey podcast, but real quick, Tom Brady retiring. Is he really done?
Yeah, I think this is it. He signed the contract with Fox finally. I think he'll be a great announcer. People will listen to him, hopefully. I mean, I think he'll be very good. I think he'll be like the better. You know how Romo in the beginning was like very popular and everyone loved
Hmm.
him? I think that's how it'll be. You?
Yeah, I mean he's like one of the most popular people in the world. Period. So I
Yep.
think everyone's gonna tune into that. I think I saw some whispers on Twitter that he's like, maybe I'm not fully done yet. I don't
He
know.
has. It's a business side of it, and I feel like I mean the Fox contract he just signed is worth more than he's made in the NFL. So I hope he
Yeah,
signs it.
I think from his perspective, he's just like he doesn't know what his life with like his whole life has been on the field.
Yep.
So I don't know if he's like ready to like not adult per se, but like get past that career. It's pretty
Yep.
wild.
Yeah, it is. It's led to a lot of problems for him.
And then switch it up. Another problem person. We've got Kyrie Irving leaving the Nets to go to Dallas. I don't really follow the NBA that much, but what does that trade look like? I know you're more in the NBA.
Yes, they have gotten a 2029 first and second round pick from the Brooklyn Nets. From the Dallas Mavericks, and they get Spencer Dinwiddie and one other player. Hold on, let me tell you who it is before I go on.
I could look it up too. But I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, what's the outlook look like to the?
It seems like Kyrie definitely felt he was either disrespected by the Nets or something happened to their front office, and he just wants out. And he got what he wanted, and it happened very fast. So I think it was very desperate by the Nets to make this trade, and I think they're gonna try to build around Kevin Durant
I
and see what they can get from there. You?
I mean, I don't follow the NBA much. From what I do see, Kyrie Irving is kind of like a, I don't know, like I don't know if I can think of the words, but he's someone you don't want on your team. He seems he's a parasite. That's what I was gonna say. He's a
Yeah,
parasite to every team, causes issues. Granted, he's an unreal basketball player,
unreal.
but I think he throws off the chemistry. It's a team sport. I mean,
Yes. There's nothing we can say about it. He's a great basketball player. I don't think he'll win with the Mavs, but we'll see how that goes.
yeah, I mean, if Luca and him combine and be unreal, but I could totally see them. They're kind of both solo players, and I feel like they're gonna
Yeah,
clash. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But in other news, I think I saw the other day British Columbia legalized or decriminalized heroin, fentanyl, cocaine, and I think other hard drugs. So you could carry like a small amount. I think it was 2.5 grams without being arrested. I don't know what the thoughts are there. I mean,
I don't know. Thoughts are there too. That's
uh,
a wild thing there, British Columbia.
yeah, I know New
Good for
York.
them though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's been going on in DC in the next year or so, but I know New York, there was like the
I know
injection
Portland.
sites. You know, in
What
Portland,
about
what?
New York? Wait, what happened?
New York had the
Portland.
injection
Everything.
sites.
What does that mean?
The,
Oh, like where you can like do it, like meth and all that.
well, basically, the government was funding those addicted to heroin. Like, it's hard to just quit. So they were like paying for, like, the taxpayers were paying for doses of heroin to be shot into like people's arms. I could be a little bit off of that, but that I think was going down during the pandemic and towards the end of it. It's just
Jeez.
crazy.
Well,
Um,
there's your outside world news besides hockey.
yeah, seriously. And actually outside the NHL, but still in the hockey world, I don't know if you saw the video of McDavid's dad just dangling around everyone in men's league.
Like
He,
father, like son.
yeah, I mean, he looked like McDavid out there. I mean, he is McDavid, but he was just dancing around.
The real McDavid.
Yeah, McDavid Senior, or I don't think it's
That's where he
not.
learned the beer league. That's where he learned in the beer league games.
Love it. Yeah, I got a beer
That's where
league
we
game
learned.
tomorrow. Hell
Big
yeah.
one.
All right, quick little nugget before we go to our Would You Rather segment. It's gonna be Michael Bunting, who I know he's getting a lot of backlash right now in the NHL. I believe he was a huge William Nylander fan growing up, as of late, and now he's line mates with Nylander, right?
Nylander, yeah.
Nylander, and now William Nylander. Before every game, he signs like the heel of his curve, which I don't know. Do you think that's stupid? Do you think that's cringy? What do you
That's
think?
awesome. I think they have some good chemistry, and it's a little superstition. All hockey players got one. Did you have one?
I'm trying to think. Oh, I didn't watch my jerseys, especially in playoffs.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, for the playoffs. Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't watch like anything.
yeah. I mean, even during this year
Roasted it
too,
in.
I rarely did. But I'm trying to think superstition. I don't think I had anything too crazy. I know, like,
I always
there's.
taping my stick. I always started from the toe. The ball, the heel.
I did that too. Yeah. At least I have a new pair of socks before most games, or at least not the same one I wear every single time like McDavid does.
Yeah, yeah, that's something else.
But
Like
yeah,
the sock that looks like it's like into a
there's
million pieces. Like
there's
why can't
barely any sock.
supposedly like the company like it like closed down and he bought like 10,000 pairs of the socks and he's like just starting to run out.
I don't think he can do it. He could probably bring him back into business. Just start it again. I mean,
No,
you're
right?
making what, 12 million a year? Just buy the
Yeah.
business.
Yep.
Be the official. I mean, McDavid sucks. He's selling off the hook. If you
Yep.
start this business,
I would
McDavid,
buy him.
give me royalty. But
Hit us up.
yeah, seriously. Let's jump into the would you rather segment. So, first, would you rather? Would you rather have to take like as in like the fastest or the hardest shot contest? You gotta hop in net and Chara is just unwinding on you. 10 shots, or you have to eat nothing but chicken fingers for a month.
I think I would have to go with option two. I mean,
Chicken fingers?
I couldn't stand blocking shots as a forward. I couldn't imagine taking Charas. I mean, I would probably be like vibrating after.
But you do have the best, like, you have goalie gear on, so, like,
Yeah, you
technically,
do.
even if it does hit you in, like, the chest, you should be totally fine.
You would think, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's more just, like, you can't turn, and you have to stand still, like, just take it, and, like, I guess hope a block or a glove makes it, but,
Yeah. I mean, if he's ripping it at you, it's a whole different ball game here.
I mean, he's gonna
If
be
he's
eating,
trying
like,
to
hash
score,
marks.
if he's doing from the hash marks and trying to score, I'm all go ahead. You could have the whole net.
Yeah, but you gotta stand there. You're gonna be taped there like, who's it? Goldberg from Mighty Ducks. Not taped, but you have to stand there and try to
Yeah,
block it.
you have to take it.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think I'm taking chicken fingers for a month for every single meal.
Yeah.
You give me different sauces, I feel like I'd be okay. Like mixing a little barbecue, honey mustard,
Yeah.
ketchup. I think I'd
Oh,
survive.
well, yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
think I agree. Um, Next question. Would you rather never have your favorite team win the Stanley Cup, or every time your team gets to the finals, so the final series, you have to hop in net as goalie?
That's a very tough one to take. I honestly, what do you think?
I mean, I I obviously want to see my team go to the playoffs and win a Stanley Cup, but like I guess there is the off chance. Like, what if I just train for like years? Like,
Yeah, you could just do that. Like you could just train every season, just like a maniac, and just like for the playoffs, and then like be ready to go.
yeah, but
I
think
mean,
like
I don't think I would be a good goalie in general. I'm very small, like, but I feel like if we got some big kids to do that, it would be a success, honestly.
yeah, I think the problem too is that like think your team only makes the Stanley Cup. Like the odds of them going to the Stanley Cup final is like it's not guaranteed any year. Like it doesn't happen
Nope.
often. And the one
Nope.
time it does, like it might like you might be training for 20 years for nothing, and then like you're or like in the first year like you have to hop in net, and then like 20-year
Yeah.
drought. Like,
Yep. You just don't know. I
but
think I would just take honestly. My team never win the cup.
really, I think I'm gonna hop in net. I think you know what, like give them a try. Like why not? I guess it's
Yeah,
on
honestly,
me.
no, I'll agree. I'll agree. I gotta agree on that one. I would need to see the Rangers win the cup.
I think that would be like shitting my pants in net though.
Yeah, I would definitely. I mean, but we would have to train, so that's how I would have to go.
Yeah, just like Friday night, you're just like taking shots. But I guess they'd
Yeah,
help you though too. Like if the Rangers organization or any organization's like, yeah, like you're gonna have to hop in that if we make playoffs.
yes. I mean, yeah, they need that. We would need all the help.
No. And then last question, we're gonna leave it with before we head out. Would you trade right now Eric Carlson for Panarin 1-for-1?
See, that's very hard. How old is Carlson again?
I'm gonna look it up right now. I want to say he's probably like 29.
I think they're very similar in age. I don't know if I would. I mean,
He's
Panarin is
32.
Panarin is very solid all around. I mean, his only problem is defense. But honestly, it doesn't even matter with him because he just gets so many goals and like creates offense that I don't think it matters.
So they're
Carlson, I don't think I would do it though. If I was either the Rangers or the Sharks,
okay. You think doesn't work either way?
I don't think they would.
Yeah, I don't think either team would. From the Sharks' perspective, I think I'm gonna say no. But from the Rangers' perspective, I might say yes. I know we have Fox and our defense is rock solid,
Yeah.
but Eric Carlson and Fox, like, they're basically like probably the two best offensive defensemen right now in the
Yeah.
NHL.
And
So if
McCarr.
nothing
Yeah.
else, you have trade value. I think you have
Mhm.
more trade value from Eric Carlson than you do with Panarin. So I think I'm taking them even for the playoff push, and even like maybe you grab Carlson and you flip him
Yeah.
for like someone sick, or like maybe you flip Carl, like you trade Panarin to the Sharks. I mean, these are big moves, but
Yeah, you can make like a 3-team trade or something and include both of them.
yeah,
And we
not
would
that.
and we would get back Kucherov and Patrick Kane.
I mean, that would be sick, but I was thinking more like if you get like I don't know, like these are all very hypothetical. Like trade Panarin for Carlson, and then grab like maybe the Red Wings would trade like Larkin and Kopp, and like you grab those two, and like those are two key pieces.
Yeah.
But I don't think these are all so hypothetical, and they
Yep.
probably none of them
So
will happen.
hypothetical. I mean, the chances of these are like fantasy hockey conversations.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, any last thoughts you got here?
I don't.
All
Thank
right,
you everyone for episode 1. This is Sunday Chirps presented by Max Grant.
Jared Pine. All right, have a good night, everyone. Enjoy your week.